Hello everybody and welcome back to Murdered Soul Suspect. We made it halfway through the church level in the last video. We had just crossed over in search of our witness, and before we find her we have a couple more collectibles to grab. We can go straight through to the rectory. We can zoom in on this silhouette, which is our witness. And we have a couple of things that we need to grab before we chase her. In this bathroom, we can reveal on the wall another one of the Ghost Girl's messages. The drawing, that is the only drawing in this lower part. There is going to be another drawing upstairs to grab. There is another saw next to this bookshelf at the end of the hall. And in this door, at the very end of the hall, to the left, we have another saw. The kitchen, to my knowledge, has no collectibles, so we can head on through. There is a demon in this room. There's only one demon, so just make sure that you're keeping an eye out. And he should just patrol this little area in a straight line. So once he kind of turns around again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my body that I'm hiding in. I'm going to run up and I'm going to go ahead and execute him. And hopefully don't screw it up this time. There we go. Once you take care of him, you can kind of safely explore without any need of having to worry too much about it. So nothing in this room. Go ahead and pass through the door next to the demon gunk. There is a saw right next to this ghost body. And we will be returning to the church. I should mention that. We are going to be going upstairs on a second visit to the church. So if there's anything you miss on your first visit, you should be able to get everything on your second time around. But it is always convenient just to get everything on your first try if possible. Also in this room is another one of our pieces of Salem history, another plaque. And I do believe that that is everything that we have in this bottom area, aside from this very last saw.
His mother does seem to be a bit of a heartbeat, but
we are missing two of those still, and I know where one of them is. So hopefully I haven't missed anything, but we have been fairly thorough, and I really don't think that we have missed anything. There are very, very few floors in this area to check. There is nothing outside. We have gotten rid of the demon, so we have no fears if we want to just have a look around. But as you can see, I've pretty much looked at everything, and all the collectibles in this game are all fairly straightforward. So we'll just do a really quick double take. And that's a good thing I did, because I missed this saw, which is great. I think what happened was I had come in from the kitchen into this room, and the camera wasn't angled properly. So it's always worth doing a double take if you're not sure, or following along with a collectible guide. I knew I was missing a saw, so we're glad that we got that. So the witness took the elevator up. Now, since the elevator isn't open, we are not welcome to use that to get up to the attic. So what you're going to want to do is actually possess this cat. And we're going to use the cat to climb up to the attic, which is so cool. I remember how so incredibly stoked I was that I got to play a cat in a video game when I played this for my first time. Oh, here we go. Right in the corner. For some reason I was missing that. We're gonna crawl through the vents. We're gonna go right to the first turn here. which is going to bring us through to this room. And there's an open door outside. And now we have to make it all the way up to the 4th floor. And again, fairly linear. You just got to kind of find your way up. The only thing that might throw you off is the fact that the cat can climb vines. I know when I played for my first time, I thought, I can actually go up. Well, how am I going to do that? And it turns out that the cat just kind of straddles the vines like Spider-Man and just crawls right up. So using our cat powers, we were able to make it all the way up to the 4th floor window. And once you get up here, you can dispossess the cat and walk into this room.
There she is, finally.
Why do I always lose my keys when I need to leave?
How can I get through to her?
So the only way that we're going to be able to try and get through to her is to actually possess her. And we can try and influence her now that we're inside. And in order to get her to think about the Bell Killer, we're going to look at the searching killer clue.
So get the hell out! God damn it, if you ever possess me again, you have no right to dump your unfinished business on me.
Now, I'm tracking down my killer, okay? Someone who was seconds away from attacking you about an hour ago, and if... Wait a minute. You can see me? And hear me? Holy shit. You're a medium. Well, ain't I the luckiest guy in the world? I just found the perfect little helper.
What is it with you guys and my family? Helping the cops do their job is not some privilege. It's a trap. I'm not your informant, your partner, or your friend. I don't owe you. If anything, you owe me. Dick.
Yeah, I get it. You're tough, okay? But you're not tougher than him. You saw what he can do. He's coming after you, or someone close to you. Whoever he wants dead is lucky to still be alive. Now, I know what I'm doing, and you can help me stop him. All you have to do is answer some questions.
Look, I'm sorry. What happened to you was horrible. And you saved my life, so what do you want?
Alright, so we can proceed to ask her a bunch of questions, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to come into this back room for our final 2 collectibles. Right here is our last Saw collectible for the Bell Tower Banshee side story. That will wrap that up. And if you come into the room over here, on the wall is another drawing. And that will wrap up everything that we needed to collect in the church on our first visit, but do remember we will be coming back here later. So for now, let's go ahead and interrogate her now that she's willing to listen to us.
I was murdered tracking that son of a bitch to your place. So why would he be looking for you?
That freak was probably looking for my mom. Not me. I'm a nobody. Invisible. My mom and I tried very hard to keep it that way. Not everybody wants to be noticed, you know.
They did say that her mother worked with the police, so that would make sense.
Looking for your mom. What does that mean?
She's like me, but she found a way to make a respectable living off of what we can do. living that probably turned her into a target.
Go ahead and elaborate on that.
Respectable living?
Yeah. Hey, you might know her. She was working the Bell Killer case with the cops as a contract psychic, a profiler.
Sorry, kid. She doesn't ring any bells.
I found this in the apartment tonight. Mentioned something about some Bell Killer book. And it's in her handwriting.
Bell Killer book. If she was a profiler, it's probably the book she kept all her case notes in. That would be at the station.
Really?
Don't be getting any ideas there, smarty pants.
So where's your mom, kid?
Probably dead. She would never just leave me without saying a word. Never. I don't know where she is. I know the Bell Killer had something to do with her disappearance. Him showing up tonight just proves it.
If he killed her, why would he come back to her place?
I don't know.
Look, assuming the worst never helped no one.
Got a couple more questions to ask her, so why don't we ask her about why she was
Oh,
at
yeah,
the
I'm outta here
apartment?
soon.
All right. What were you doing at your apartment?
I live there, Sherlock. Well, I used to, whatever. My mother has been missing for a few days. I don't see her that often, but she never just disappears. Not like this.
Why don't you live there?
Because of people like you always asking for help. Trying to connect one last time with your loved ones or resolve some crazy problem. I love my mom, but I can't live in one place for too long or people like you will find me too easily.
Fair enough.
I wasn't home much either growing up. I know that's rough.
I can't say I blame her. If I could talk to ghosts, it would freak me right out.
Have you ever seen my killer before tonight? Do you have any idea who he is?
You cops are so hard up on clues that you're actually asking people if they know who the killer is. Now I get why you need so much help.
I'm not asking people. I'm asking the witness whose life I just saved. You're not safe alone. You need someone watching over you. Us cops find missing people. I found you, and I can help you find your mom. Your problem is now my problem, too.
No way. Don't get me wrong, you saved my life, and... Okay, I can't pay that back, but your problems are your problems, and mine are mine. There they are. Good luck. You're gonna need it. Have a nice afterlife.
Wait a minute. Don't go yet. Just stop for a second, will you? We're on the same side. If your mother's involved, we need to work together.
Work together? What are you gonna do? You're dead. I'll handle it. Just leave me alone!
I bet she knows more. I can't let her get away. There's gotta be another way down.
Alright, so we are persistently going to track her, even though she very clearly doesn't want our help. But, I mean, she's a punk kid, and she is probably going to be way in over her head. So it is probably best if we follow her. And because she didn't leave an open door or anything, what we can do is we can take possession of the cat again, and just hop on out the window. And that will get us out of the attic. And then from here, all we really have to do is go back the way that we came by possessing the priest again and going back through the entrance.
Leaving so soon, dear?
Yeah, sorry. I'll be back. Don't wait out, Father.
Be careful out there, my child.
But now the priest has stopped vacuuming and we need to get his attention. So in order to do that, what we can do is we could use one of our ghost powers called Poltergeist, and interacting with electronic objects using Poltergeist will turn them on, and we can use it to get the attention of people to use to our advantage. So in this case, the priest will come back, he'll check the vacuum cleaner, he'll turn it off, and then he will walk back to where he was, which will get us across the gap. You should also get an achievement for using that power for the first time, and we will need that as the game progresses. Thanks for the lift! And we're gonna get another tutorial here on how to handle demons. We can distract them using ravens. So the ravens will make sound to distract the demons, and that can sometimes be helpful in exorcising them. So here we have no choice but to use the raven. So I'll go ahead and distract him. I'm gonna hop out of this body here and execute him while he's busy. And he has another friend over there by the entrance. And it's optional if you want to exorcise this demon. You can probably just run straight for the front door, because that's all we're really wanting to do at this point is leave. Oh, and I was gonna sneak up on him and that completely backfired on me. And I'm kind of screwed right now because I've used the raven to try and distract him, but he is not very happy with me. Very, very forcefully searching for me. He knows I'm around. But now he's given up. He's gonna check out this raven, and now I can execute him. So that was a little bit longer than I had anticipated. If I wouldn't have screwed that up, we would have been out of the church, but that just is a good example of how the ravens work. They do make sound for quite a while, so sometimes you'll be waiting a while between when you can use a raven and when it will calm down and when you can use it again. So just keep that in mind.
Damn it. Now what? Jesus. So, where'd she go, huh?
So the clue that we're looking for in this case, which will tell us where she's headed, was the note. If you recall, it's telling her to go to the police station.
Leave now, find my book at the station, and don't look back.
Yeah. She's headed to the police station to steal some book. She'll blend in well there. Did you know her mother worked for the police? Fine. Don't tell me. Puss.
Time to head back to the station.
I'm not exactly sure why we needed the clue that we need to go back to the police station, because she literally said, "Oh, my mother left me this note. And Ronan said it'll be hidden at the police station, and she didn't hide it, that's exactly where she was headed. And then she literally told us that like a minute before we stopped. So that's kind of silly. But in any case, now we can head right on over to the police station. So you're going to go back the way that we had come from the apartments. So if there was any collectibles that you failed to grab from the apartments heading over to the church, we're doing that now, that loop. So you can go back and grab those. If you want to grab any of these ones here that I grabbed in an earlier episode, anything in the alley, feel free to grab those now. And now we're getting into new territory. We're actually on one of the streets of Salem. So I'm probably going to stop it here. We're in very close proximity of the police department. There's a couple of things I want to do before we actually go to the police station, and there's going to be some cutscenes and things like that. So I'm going to hold off on that until the next episode. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.